Kyle here from allmediareviews.blogspot.com. I've been meant to do kind of videos outside of music fandom, music opinions, music questions, music history. Just the shortest way to describe it, the reason being is like myself when I was a kid, I grew up in the 80s, I mean late 70s, I was born in 76, so, but I kind of was ingrained to become a sports fan. And a lot of people love sports that love music. Entertainment. It's entertainment, and sports is sometimes their biggest passion. While I did enjoy music, I was a musician. I played trumpet growing up and everything, and listened to the radio, and did buy some music. I really didn't get into that till I was much older, till I was into the 90s, to become really fanatic about it. But sports was my deal. I consider myself the biggest, especially baseball, Major League Baseball nerd. And part of that, I mean, football, Major League Baseball, National Football League, college football, college basketball, NBA, basketball. I played basketball. I played all. I played basketball. I played football. I didn't play really organized football for various reasons. I didn't want to get hurt. Hockey. I live in Minnesota. I should have played hockey. I didn't learn to skate till when I was young, and my father and my family really leaned toward basketball more than hockey. But I became more of a hockey fan later. Golf, tennis. Golf is probably my favorite sport right now. I follow the PGA Tour as much as I can. So, but really it was baseball, and I have a passion for the history of baseball. Hey, history of sports in general, but baseball. And a big part of that was collecting baseball cards. Like my father, we played the spinner game, the All-Star Baseball, and he had the cards of, anyone going back, they the little circular things. If I could ever find them, I'd show them. From Babe Ruth was in there, Ty Cobb, all the Hall of Fame, the legends were in there. You'd play them and stuff like that. But baseball cards really didn't start to really become hugely popular until when my dad was a kid in the 50s. Anyway, so I'm growing up in the 80s, and so I grew up with baseball in the 80s and the 90s, largely the 80s. So, and I collected football and basketball too, to some degree. I actually inherited a football card collection from cousins of mine. So I was just going to show a couple of items that I a list of some of my favorite, more valued items, but I don't know if I've ever I get these appraised and see how much money they're really worth. So yeah, I mean, some of these are old, some of these are not so old. I could just rapid fire. I mean, here's Dan Marino, of the quarterback, the famous quarterback from the Dunk. This is his rookie card. I don't know how much it's worth now, but I think this rookie card might be worth, someone would be willing to pay at least a couple $100 for it. I have 3 Frank Thomas rookies. I'm not really showing those very well. You can see he was playing with Auburn at the time, so that, rookie cards are one of the big things with sports cards collection. You get their rookie cards, the first card they ever won. So here's a couple of the oldest ones I have. Amani Irvin, who played with the Giants, the New York Giants. I don't know if he was with them when they moved at some point. This is from 54, I think. And this tops. I'm not saying that most of them were tops. Some of them were Fleer and Donruss. Ted Kluszewski, who played, he was with the Indians, I think, with the Reds, rather. Ted Kluszewski and Monty Irvin, not hugely household names, but I have, let's see here. Here's a Kirby, of course, being from Minnesota. I don't know if this isn't his rookie card. It's like his second year, and that's a Donruss. So Ken Griffey Jr.'s rated rookie, his Fleer. This is not the most valuable one. I'll show something that I'm not going to show the card itself, but related to that. I have a Michael Jordan, so I mean that's basketball. This is one of his first cards. I know that they didn't make rookie cards. They didn't make basketball cards at the point he was a rookie, I don't think. That was the whole thing. Here's a Reggie Jackson from 75. Now, unfortunately, when you look at the value of a baseball card, if it's not centered, it's not as valued. I mean, the corners make a difference, the condition, but also if it's centered. This one wasn't cut perfectly, so the value isn't as high. But I don't know. I don't like to think of these for monetary value as much. Bob Lemon, I think, pitcher from the Indians. I think he pitched for the Indians. Yes. See, in baseball cards, you get to look at their statistics on the back. Bob Lemon was a great pitcher in the 50s and maybe the 40s too, as he went back. Yeah, he went way back. He was a rookie in 41, so So, I mean, I could. There's literally about 100 some cards in here. I'm not going to show every one of them, but if I can find a few of them, like the Dan Marino's. I used to collect Reggie Jacksons. I used to love Reggie Jackson. He was like one of my favorite players growing up. This is from 1980, I believe. Pete Rose was another. As much as he's controversial and not in the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame for a reason. It's from 1980. Dan Marino's second card. I have a couple copies of that. I mean, it would take too long to go through all of these. Richie Ashburn this is like 62 or 63. Richie Ashburn, he played with, the Phillies, and then eventually with the Cubs for a couple of years, and then the New York Mets. It's just an older card from 63. Again, Richie Ashburn, not a Hall of Famer, but here's a Willie Stargell, who is a Hall of Famer, from the Pirates from 69. The 69 top set had some really valuable cards. There was a Reggie Jackson from that year and a Pete Rose from that year that a friend of mine had that were really valuable. I mean, Gaylord Perry, Willie Star. I was just collecting them. I'd buy them. Willie Stargell. No, I'm seeking out, and I have not tracked down Cal Ripken Jr. I mean, some of these. I'm seeking out, not tracking down the cards because I didn't open this up until I started the video. A bunch of Ken Griffey Jr.'s, of course. McGuire. I mean, I should just be showing this. Steve Young, at one point, that was kind of valuable, but I don't know if it's as valuable now. Roberto Alomar. Billy Ripken. Billy Ripken, the brother, I think, of Cal Ripken, and played with the Orioles, also like Cal Ripken Jr. This is the famous card that had the expletive on the bat. If you had that one, it was worth a lot of money, but this one didn't. There were a couple different versions. Jerry Rice. Now, this is not a rookie card from Jerry Rice, but it's from 88. It's like his third card. I have Jerry Rice's rookie card either here or somewhere else. Clemens, of course, all the stuff that's come out. I don't know if his cards are as valuable as they were at one point because he was considered the greatest pitcher of his era. So, well, that's not exactly what I was looking to find, but let me at least pull out a couple things that I know are in here. This maybe is my most valued item. This is the 1988 Upper Deck set. And this has the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card and a few others. I forget. I should know off the top of my head, but it's been since whenever I thought about it. But yeah, this was really, because the first year that Upper Deck made baseball cards, and actually Ken Griffey is right there, although for some reason I don't know if that's the way the rookie card looks, but it is the rookie card of Ken Griffey Jr. So at one point, this was a couple $100. Might not be any more than that now. It might be more. I would think with time it'd be at least a couple. Maybe it'd be $300, $400, $500. I don't know. And then, like I was mentioning about rookie cards, there were these things called traded sets, which were also there were players that were traded, and there were also rookie cards. The whole thing was having the first card ever made from these players that became really good, All-Stars and maybe Hall of Famers. This is the Score 88 Rookie Traded set, and it has the list of players, and I don't know if I could scan through it and find players that are all traded and then rookies. You bought it for the rookies. Jay Buhner, Craig Biggio's on here. I think he's a Hall of Famer now. I thought Griffey might have been on this, but this was a pretty... I know that when I bought it, and it went up in value within a few years after I bought it. And then I have this one. Oh yeah, I should show this, but I'll show this one first. Another traded set. So that one was Score. This is a Topps traded set, and this doesn't have the list. This is again 88. So again, it might have Griffey. So Griffey Jr. at one point was considered the greatest player of our era, and he was not guilty of of juicing. I have all his first cards. That was the whole thing. I found this. This is from 1908 or 1912. This is one of the tobacco cards. The one that you'd want to get would be one of the major stars. Honus Wagner, that's the one, is the most famous, the most valuable. This guy is a guy named Louis Ritchie, and he played with the Chicago Nationals, which, as a baseball nerd, I should know who the Chicago Nationals became. They may have become the White Sox, but I'm not sure. Or they may have become the Indians. I don't know. I'd have to look this up, but and Louis Ritchie's not a household name exactly, but oops. Let me just take a gander to see. Yeah, I might have not looked in, because when I was looking for, I did not find. Yes, I think this is really what I was looking for. So, Karl Malone's rookie card. this was valuable when I mean, I know that was one of my most valid cards. Akeem Olajuwon, of the Rockets, of course, rookie card from Fleer. And then I find I have my 2 Marinos in like a double thing. So I have more than one Dan Marino rookie card. And then this is my most valued item, that in the Upper Deck set. Walter Payton's rookie card. You know, this could be $500. I don't know. It's whatever someone wants to pay for it. I had 2 copies. I was stupid enough to trade it away to a friend of mine for some other cards, some Dan Fouts and something when I was a kid. But Kirby, you know, I mean, those were the main items I was seeking out to show. I have a Jerry Rice in here too. This is more Steve Young. Steve Young, great quarterback. He won the Super Bowl with the 49ers. He probably is. He's in the Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, Ricky Henderson, another rookie card that is in great shape and is worth. So between that and the Walter Payton, Ricky Henderson of the A's. Yes, here's Jerry Rice, and I think this is not my only one, but here's one of my Jerry Rice rookie cards. I don't know. I don't have time to make, and I don't want to make this video extensively long, but at a future date, John Elway. I think this is John Elway's rookie card. I have like 3 of them. I think this is his rookie card. I think it is. Again, I'm not sure how much football cards are worth. Sadly, as much as I love baseball and spent more time collecting baseball cards, I think my football cards are where the value. It always came to be about the value, about the monetary value. You know, Patrick Waugh, I have some hockey cards. The Barry Bonds rookie card, which is famous, but Joe Montana, I think I may have one of his rookie cards, but that would be worth more. The bulk of my collection here seems to be not in baseball necessarily. Which the truth is, I still have a lot of my cards in my parents' place, which probably want to sell them or donate them or something. Because in the grand scheme of things, I'm not sure what they do, but how much they really help. Just keeping them, just other than for nostalgia and sentimental value. But like here, okay, like a Roger Staubach from '78, just like the Walter Payton around that time. That's older. The older the cards, generally, the better, the more valuable. You know, so anyway. I would, maybe at a later time, I would be up for showing more details or make like a top 10 cards list or something like that. But, I've never really talked about my love of sports and of collecting baseball cards especially. But it was because like 1987, I tried to buy pack after pack to see if I could actually collect the entire top set. I think it was Topps. Yeah, it was. Came close, and I never really went through the whole thing because there was always 792 cards in the set. I think that was the magic number, 792. And I know I counted over 700, but so that was the whole thing. And like I started in like '83, and I wanted to find if I could get the Rod Carew and the Pete Rose from the '83 set, and I tried doing the same thing. Then the next year, '84, I think my parents actually ended up buying, or my brother and I just bought the '84 top set, and then we did the same thing with '85. I can't remember if we did it with '86 with Topps. Maybe we were more looking to buy like the Fleer or the Donruss sets, because that was it. It was Topps was the king, and then Fleer, Donruss became more popular, then Score, and then Upper Deck. Fortunately, it kind of for us fizzled out in like the early '90s, and it just cards. There were too many brands. It was just too hard to keep up, and I was more interested in spending money on other things. But that '87 year was the year I tried to collect the entire thing just by buying packs. And you get doubles, triples, quadruples, of a lot of the same players, and you're missing other ones. It was kind of difficult, but it was sort of part of the whole practice of, and you get the gum, of course, is what are you going to get in the pack, and then you buy like wax boxes, which were like a whole thing like this, like a box that had like 20 packs, and so you open it to see what do you get. The real cool thing was you could buy like old packs they would have at the stores, and you could, like from 1968 or 1973, what are you going to get in there? You could get something really valuable. That was the whole thrill and adrenaline rush of buying baseball cards. Largely was baseball cards, but then it became more about like football and then a little bit with basketball. But for me, it was baseball. So anyway, I don't know if any of the people that have found this YouTube channel are baseball or sports card collectors. If you are, give me your favorite card. Give me your most valued card. Give me your most desired card or your set. were you collecting cards? Were you collecting cards back in the 60s or 50s when my dad was doing it, or the 70s? You know, just be curious. You know, it's the Walter Payton and the Ricky Henderson and that Upper Deck set, the Upper Deck '88 set are probably my most sort of valued favorite items. Although I could go through it. I'd be curious just on the value on some of the stuff now. It's probably not. It's more. It should be more valuable. But it all comes down to really what someone is willing to pay. It could be priced and listed by these different magazines and sites online at a certain value, but it really only comes down to what someone's willing to pay for it. My dad believes he had multiple Mickey Mantle rookie cards that his mother threw out, and that card has sold for, I don't know, $250,000, $500,000. It was sold maybe in the 90s when I was growing up, or the 80s and 90s, for like 50 or 60 grand, but I know it'd been sold for well over 100,000. It could have been sold for $1 million. The Honus Wagner, the T206 Honus Wagner tobacco one, has been, and I saw a copy of that when I went to the Baseball Hall of Fame when I was a kid in 86. 85 or 86. I think it was 85. Might have been 86. Anyway, yeah, this was my thing. Long before I cared about collecting music passionately, my wife gives me crap about this, how she knows 80s pop so much better because that's all she really was into, or one of the only things she was into. Whereas this was my thing. I played sports, I collected stuff, I collected baseball cards. Now I collect music, and what's the next thing? I don't know. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you next time.